Hello, everyone. As always, I am delighted and excited to be here with you this evening. I do want to share a little bit of news. I have tonight's show, and I believe next week is the 27th. That will be it for a while. I'm taking a little bit of a sabbatical. Too many things going on, too many balls up in the air for me to be doing a show at 9:30 in the evening when I'm up at the crack of dawn. Can't even speak. See that? But I did want to give you at least a heads up. Keep in mind, you can always reach me at the office, 561-755-2166. You can reach me online at halleyelise.com, or of course, at any of the social media if you'd like to reach out. And I always love hearing from people, so feel free to reach out even after I'm off the air. But for tonight, I'm looking forward to the guests that are going to call in and we can connect. It's always interesting to me to see where they're coming from. Are they coming from Australia or Canada or the US? How fun is that, right? I have to tease though every time that the pre-show information goes on, it talks about the phone numbers, and I tease because I have no idea what they are. And I think to myself, but one of these days I'm really going to pay attention and I'm going to I'm going to write them all down. Well, I have not done that yet. Just kind of how that goes. I do hope everybody in Florida, especially if you're in the Palm Beach County or you're in Broward County or even Dade, I think, is having a little bit of a cold spell this evening. Kind of fun, especially since I've spoken with folks up north and they're all going, ooh, it's a little cold. And I'm getting videos of snow because when I'm up north, I always send videos of snow, my favorite thing. I do want to share, if you are not familiar with my daughter, Selena Rochelle, or Selena Rochelle Rossman, you might want to look her up, especially if you like sci-fi genre or if you like sapphic romances. She's got a new book coming out. She had a new story, I should say, as well as a new book, actually, not that far in advance. And she had one come out. I'm trying to think of the exact time, can't tell you. I think it was about 6 months back, roughly, a little longer than that. Anyways, bottom line, if you'd like to take a look at some interesting material, you get excited about new authors, definitely look up Selena Rossman. I'm sure she would appreciate any sort of feedback you give her on her work. It's so far pretty darn good. Now, granted, yes, I could be a little prejudiced, but I'm also somebody who writes, and I can appreciate someone who writes well. So there you go. Otherwise, wouldn't share. And what about the craziness in the sky? Have you noticed anything? I live in an area where for a couple of years I was looking up going, what's that? What's that? And I'm hearing from people around the world lately that they're noticing something different in the sky as well. In addition to what we're seeing as to night lights and stars and we'll say weather balloons, there are some other things wandering about. So when you get a chance, just look up in the sky, see if you notice anything different. Nothing to be afraid of, just so that you know. I just feel that life is changing, and perhaps this year we'll hear a little bit more about what takes place in the sky beyond what NASA lets us know. Okay, I think I saw that Shauna from Alabama is calling in. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Did you have a particular area of focus this evening?
Um, just general, like whatever you're drawing.
Okay, I'm gonna, oops, sorry, I'm obscuring the camera for a moment. I needed to turn up the sound a little bit. I'm sorry, hon. Could you say that one more time?
Yeah, I said just general, like whatever you're drawing.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so one of the first things that pops up is a bit of frustration, and it feels like it's been going on for a while. I keep hearing last August, and yet I feel as if it was actually even, let me see, closer to this time. Bear with me one second. I'm getting January, December, November, October, September. Yeah, August, September. Okay, so sorry, trying to backtrack here and get time frame for you, but it feels to me as if end of summer, beginning of fall, that things perhaps got a little bit off kilter. and frustrating. And it feels as if this wave or this level of discomfort has kind of been sitting there. It seems as if there is a little light shining through, and you're like, oh, things are better. And then you're like, oh, wait, I'm still dealing. Please know
Yeah.
this is just a period of time. This is not the rest of your life, because I feel like there are moments you're thinking, God, when is this going to stop? Is it going to stop? Do I have to deal with this for the rest of my life? No, you do not have to
Right.
deal with it for the rest of your life. I'm getting three. So we're in what, February? Yes, March, April, May. We're actually kind of close to March already. So I'm going to say by first week in June, between now and first week in June, the feeling is that things should ease up for you. And that means during this period of time, instead of focusing your attention on what's going on that's creating that angst for you, that frustration, I'd love to suggest for you to, when you get up in the morning, take like 3 minutes and think about things that make you happy and how it will feel when things are, I'm going to use the word normalized, balanced, more harmonious. Because I feel like so much of your energy, so much of your attention has gone into this anxiety ridden period of time that you don't feel you have control over. And it is
Yeah.
leaving. You are moving out of that cycle. So kind of take a breath. And again, if you can kind of get into the habit in the morning of just taking a few minutes, even if you need to set an alarm for like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, let's put it this way, the longer the better. However, any time that you can give to focusing on what it feels like, excuse me, when feels, oh my, that word feels is sticking there, but what it feels like when it feels right. That's a tongue twister. But any attention you can give to that is going to expedite your results. Not only that, while this period of time is kind of wonky, it'll give you the opportunity to start your day out on a better foot. Because I almost get the impression of waking up and feeling as if, oh, I've got to get up. I have to go. I have to, feeling that if you will wait upon you, shift it a
Right.
little bit yourself, because it will make a difference. The other thing here is upper stomach, middle stomach, some discomfort, I'm going to say upper middle back. Interesting. So it's around that whole area there.
Yeah.
I would say that that's stress related primarily. However, I'm feeling as if there's something going on with the vertebrae in the upper thoracic section. So that's part of it. The other part of it is emotional. It's almost like the emotion is stuck in this area. And so the stomach in the front really is a reminder of like, pay attention. Body is talking to you like, this is your center of your being. This is where your heart is. You need to do the couple of suggestions that I made as far as, getting up and focusing attention elsewhere. That's a start. The back, though, I do feel vertebrae wise, something is a little askew here. And again, I get like upper thoracic. So to me, this is, I want to say perhaps thoracic 4, from 4 to 7, from what it's feeling. If you're comfortable going to a chiropractor, great. If that's not your cup of tea, think stretching in the morning, like putting your arms up all the way and looking up and just kind of holding for a moment and taking it like a nice deep breath. So you go where you literally bring it in full bodied, and then take your arms and actually put them behind you also, and do some gentle stretching. And what I'm hearing in my head is to also bend your chin forward as you do this. And again, take like that deep breath. It feels to me as if it'll help loosen some of that. The biggest thing, though, here is the emotional component. And I'm going to remind
Yeah.
you of something that you already know. You cannot change the things that you cannot change. And I know you get
Yeah.
that. And yet
Yeah.
there's that like, but I want to. And I understand that truly. Make these few little shifts, little adjustments, if you will, within how your day is moving, how you're beginning. And you'll notice that you'll feel more in control. And And again, it's going to be a little bit of time till you get through this cycle, but it will move. And then the nice thing is, and what was it, March, April, May, June, you're going to find that some unexpected nice things happen in your world. So, for instance, a friend who you heard from in a long time, all of a sudden it's going to pop up, whether it's that you hear about them and they're coming to visit or they reach out to you. But I get like something that is a pleasant surprise. So that's going to start out this new cycle. The other thing here, too, that I'm getting is nature, nature, nature. Anything that you can do in nature right now, even if it's only for 60 seconds, is going to be of value to you. Get yourself literally out of the house, even if it's just for a moment. Because I keep
Okay.
coming back to the insulating yourself. Would you agree that you've been doing that?
Yeah, yeah. Ever since my car got vandalized last year, in the end of July, like well mid July. Yeah,
So
and so
knowing
my whole life like flipped upside down, and then like the
Mhm.
medical, like I have like lumbar. My lumbar was fractured last year, or not last year, a couple years ago in a car wreck,
Mhm.
and I've been having a lot of problems with it here lately. And I've got precancer on my cervix. So, like, it's been
Yeah.
4 months and I have a doctor's appointment. So, that's spot on.
Okay, so keep in mind here the lumbar is let me reverse this. The thoracic that I'm getting is actually like a referred pain, or if you will, compensating for the lumbar. So even though there's something there from the past, I don't actually get that being the culprit so much as it is, as I mentioned, like the emotion that you're carrying right now. As to the car, that will be fine. As to your wellness with the whole pre-cancer thing, really and truly get into the mindset of you want to be here. You want to start playing. You want to start enjoying. Start watching funny movies. Start really and truly doing anything that you can do that can make you smile. Because if you do that, that other part of your life is going to move through fairly quick and with ease. None of it is ever easy, but I do get the sense that if you shift again, as far as focus, the emotion, it's going to lift up that spiritual connection to the body, and you are going to start seeing things change. But they're not going to change like, poof, snap my fingers. It's going to be more like, oh, woke up, I'm feeling a little better today. Huh, it's been a week that I haven't had pain, like that type of thing. But
Okay.
truly, bring things into your life that have to do with laughter. If you have to go on the internet and search funny things, do that. Because I feel like the folks that are around you care about you, but they don't really truly see you. And right now, you need to be seen so that you can bring joy back into your life. And if that means you looking at the mirror and then again looking at something funny so that you can see you, you can see that joy that lives inside of you and also that love because you are a very loving person, start bringing that towards yourself. And then people around will start paying more attention. I
Okay.
don't think I don't think you realize that when things shifted last year, you got into this, I'll call it a funk for lack of a better way to put it, and
Hmm.
it's it stopped you from moving forward. Now's the time forward before this little cycle changes. Okay, my friend,
All right. Thank you.
you are very welcome. Take good care. And know again, this is just for now. This is not the rest of your life.
Love and light to you.
Have a great night, hon. We have Joe on the line, I believe.
Yes, how you doing tonight?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good.
Good. So why do I get it? Detect a little bit of sadness there?
No, not sadness, just long day, long day. married, 3 kids, younger kids. Winding down for the night. But
Gotcha.
looking forward to this phone call for sure.
Oh, good. Was there a particular area of attention that you wanted, or you want me to just kind of go with whatever comes up?
Well, there was a particular question I kept. Now I've had readings before in life, like a lot of time, plenty of times. Um,
Okay.
and I don't know. This is kind of a specific question. This might be kind of hard, but I would say it's been almost 2 years now that I
Mhm.
lost my wedding ring in my house.
Okay.
I'm pretty positive in my house, at least. I remember the day specifically. I was at my niece's grad party. I just remember taking it off my finger upstairs, and the kids were freaking out. So I feel in my mind I put it somewhere unusual. And don't get me wrong, we haven't flipped the house like upside down, but we have looked very, very hard. And I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if there's a way you feel that presence somehow, or if it's somewhere still, even anywhere around me.
Okay. So funny enough, that's where that sadness comes from. That I was
Yeah,
asking.
yeah.
Where's
For
that
this
sad,
topic, yes.
right? Okay.
Yep.
As to the ring itself, I keep feeling as if it was somewhere near a sink, but I don't feel like it was sat next to the sink, meaning like I don't get that you took it off and put it right next to the sink, but somewhere around the sink. So the question is, are there any gaps between where the sink is and the wall? Are there any little crevices that are around the area where the sink is?
Huh.
Because
That's very
yeah,
interesting. 'Cause I would have to look. Well, this is going to make it a little harder too, because my wife also has coincidentally lost both of her wedding rings now.
oh
So,
my God.
so we're both in like a hiatus looking for our rings at this point. And it was funny. She just had a reading as well that was something kind of with a sink, and it had like a boot shape. So we're going crazy, kind of looking for hers and mine. And I mean, that's something that I'll have to definitely literally go search for after this, because
I was
I
gonna
have two
say,
bathroom sinks that could fit like what you're saying, little crevices and
okay, because
um.
I feel like down the drain, I feel like somewhere around the sink, but I keep getting like there's maybe a gap where it slipped into or a crevice that it fell into as far as yours. As far as your wife's, funny enough, I feel like they're in the bedroom.
Holy
But
crap!
the picture that shows up in my mind's eye is like something hitting the floor and bouncing. So instead of it just like dropping and being still, it feels like it, kind of hit and then moved. I would look again, kind of in funny places, but I would check the closet, on the floor, underneath things, because the way that it shows up for me is it moved. It didn't just land and stay.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
I'll tell you that when it comes to inanimate objects, I am not always as good as with, living creatures. So, for instance, if you said you lost your cat, in most probability, I
Yeah,
would look down the street, the left side, third house behind the garbage can, that type of thing. And I've been really good about
yeah,
that. And I've
yeah.
helped people
I,
find lost loved ones, jewelry, that type of thing. It's a little bit more difficult for me to get a hold of, but the feeling here is just crevice for yours. And I'm not getting two rings as far as wife in the bedroom, but I am getting a ring that like fell and bounced. So it's worth
oh,
looking for. And I would
okay.
suggest, funny enough, that the two of you turn over a glass, each one of you, upside down. And I know that sounds funny, but my grandmother used to do that, and we'd find whatever was missing. So anything that can help, it's worth doing, right? Not plastic, by the way,
Yeah.
not ceramic, but actual glass. And over the years, I pondered, like, where did that come from? And it dawned on me that glass magnifies things. So, for instance, if you were to turn a glass upside down, it's almost like a magnification of what's ever upside down. So,
Yeah.
energetically, it might help you. Again, always helped my grandmother, always helped the family. Couldn't hurt. I
Yeah.
do want to go
I
to
would definitely.
I want to go to something
What's that?
totally different for a moment, if I may. Your knees. I keep getting a sensitivity there. So I'm going to say if you're finding any sort of discomfort, do get them checked out.
You said my knees?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Feeling like
All right.
not where the kneecap is, but below the kneecaps. And it's funny, I get both
Okay.
sides, or left and right for some reason. But knees also represent moving forward, letting things go, like taking a step forward. So you may want to examine that a little bit as far as how you're feeling about letting situations go. Because I don't feel like it's people. I feel like it has more to do with situation.
Okay. I
Okay.
like
So
that.
little thought about that. And did you tell me 3 kids or is that in my head?
Yeah, no, I did tell you 3 kids. Yep.
I was going to say, keep hearing three, 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 three. So the youngest, I feel like, all kidding aside, this is the one that you got to keep an eye on because they are curious beyond words at times. And I feel like it sometimes creates mischief that is unnecessary.
Oh my
uh,
word.
it- it's just boundaries. That's the word that I'm looking for. That's really important with the youngest.
Yeah,
So don't.
that's funny you said that because that's my 2 boys and the little girl last, and she is quite the little diva. She's the cutest thing in the world, but oh my lord, she
I
is pretty much everything you're saying right now.
mischievous, but she's also very bright. And I think that's part of this because she is so bright. Don't be surprised if at some point in her school career they want to test her to see where where she falls in academia because I feel like she's extremely bright.
Wow,
But balance is
beautiful.
really important. Yeah, good kid. I mean, just bounds of energy, beautiful, sweet. And by the same token, I get she can be really stubborn. So
Yes, exactly.
she,
Very.
she's she's something else, really. She's
Yes,
also
she's.
kind of intuitive herself, as well as your eldest. Your eldest
Oh
boy is
wow.
also intuitive, but I get that he gets it at night. So if he shares, like, oh, I had a dream about, pay attention to what he says. There's a lot, I feel like a lot of information comes through him when he's sleeping.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm definitely keep that in mind.
Okay.
And he's
And
going through a lot of hard times right now. Believe me, he's type 1 diabetic. He's just got also diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease, if that's how you say it, and it's not been easy. He's been not feeling well and lashing out, and you know, our hands
I'll
have
tell
been
you,
full just trying to figure it all out with him.
he's not listening to that inner voice. And again, I'm going to go back to he gets information in his dreams. If there is a way to convey to him to try to do something that creates peace before he goes to sleep, listening to his favorite music, reading something that makes him smile, watching something, what have you, but something, looking at a beautiful picture, anything that can create some peace before he goes to sleep will help him hear and understand his dreams better because I feel as if he's getting messages about what's supposed to be in his world right now. And it's almost what it reminds me of, funny enough, is little kids who stick their fingers in their ears and they go, no, 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 I don't want to hear.
Yeah.
This whole situation with the Hashimoto's is about him paying attention. It's kind of like God and the universe saying, "We're giving you something to deal with because there is a massive lesson here for you. Listen to that inner voice." So I don't know how much of this you might want to share with him, but creating a sense of peace before he goes to sleep at night can be huge. The other part of this is if you can convey that the more he allows himself to move through the process versus fighting it, the easier it will be to overcome.
Okay.
Because stress exacerbates everything. We know that, right? But in addition to that,
Yeah.
again, there is this spiritual push from God in the universe. I feel like he's going to move through this and help other people. And that's a part of why he's experiencing this. So
Yeah.
whatever you're comfortable sharing, my heart tells me this is not something that he should be angry about. It's more something that he has to just examine and allow and make good choices here. And that will make a
Okay.
huge difference. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
your middle child, also boy, he can be very funny at times, but I feel like he can also be a little secretive at times. It's like, ooh, I want to keep this to myself. Um, he, he sometimes feels as if he's not as important as his siblings. Be careful with that with him. Remind him that he is equally loved like the other two. And I don't mean that you have to make a grand gesture, but it does feel as if it's important for him to know that.
Okay.
I thank you so much for calling this evening. I hope this was helpful to you. And keeping my crossed that you folks find your wedding rings. And if not, I think the next best thing is getting ribbons to tie on your fingers.
I really appreciate it because a lot of this was out of the realm of what I was even going to ask, and a lot of it was honestly spot on with a lot of everything you said with the kids, all that. So it was beautiful, and I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Take good care.
I will, and thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. If you'd like to reach out to me, when I'm not on air, feel free to dial 561-755-2166. I am in Eastern Time in the U.S. You're always welcome to leave a message